Okay, welcome back to the last episode of Virtue's Last Reward. Woo! We're gonna finish the game in one episode. Are you excited? We only have 300 more question marks to go.
We don't have only 3. We have like so many more than that.
300.
Oh. Yeah, and then there's stuff that we don't know the answer to, so we
You found it, Liz. You just found it.
It's just me.
That lock.
Yeah, we just happened to find the key.
Very good.
Stumbled upon it.
This is another warehouse.
What's this?
There's even a big old door in the same spot where the number 9 door is in the other warehouse.
True, but it's rusted over. I don't think it's opening anytime soon.
No lever to open it anyway, as I can see.
Well, shoot. Couldn't possibly open that with our bare hands.
Duh. How much do you think that thing weighs?
You'd have about as much luck trying to lift a pickup truck.
Who are you texting,
It
Liz?
was unlocked.
Peeps.
I want to know what those are.
Those white doors?
Those are white doors.
Are they chromatic
Yeah,
doors?
seems like it. I mean, look
Durr.
at this.
Let's just skip all this bullshit.
It's one of those things that says lock.
Yeah, just like the ones next to the other chromatic doors.
Somebody started it. We have to get back.
Yeah.
Just think,
Every single time.
An ambidextrous for
Nice.
One of the other team.
we haven't even... I'm worried we don't.
Let's go.
This is really great visuals.
Woo! Game of the Year art.
Why did it take so long to get through that
Yeah,
area?
it's like, let's just show a closing door animation again. God. Part in this game is really bad. How many closing door animations do they need to show us?
Yeah, we don't need to see the door closing because we just keep on moving forward. We returned to the Floor A warehouse to find only 2 people waiting for us. Kay, who'd gone through the red door. And Dio, who'd gone through the green door.
Where's Quark?
We took him to the infirmary. At the moment, Alice, Phi, and Luna are looking after him.
Is he all right?
I don't know if I would describe him as all right, but apparently his condition has not worsened, if that's what you mean. He is still resting. However,
Oh, good. I'm going to the infirmary.
Tenmyoji,
Tenmyoji ignored Kay and took off at a run through the yellow door.
Oh dear. He's gone. There was something I needed to tell him.
Well, it's not like it matters. The girls will just tell him when he gets there. He ought to calm down once he's seen the kid.
Clover and I looked at one another, eyebrows raised.
What are they going to tell him?
Well, you see...
You found
What?
virus medicine in the laboratory?
Yes. Unfortunately,
Hey.
we found only a single vial.
Then we can cure Quark's Radical
So it would
6.
seem.
Well, I guess we should head over to the infirmary and see how he's doing.
Right
Come on,
behind
let's
you.
go.
He should be fine now. It might take some time for him to recover fully, but the worst is over.
Luna's voice was quiet as she stepped back from Cork. She held an injection gun with an empty vial. Delicately, she placed it back in the cabinet. Cork had been laid out on a crude cot and was still sound asleep. His breathing was even and his expression was peaceful. He looked like any other child, sleeping soundly after a long day of doing whatever it is children do to amuse themselves. Any trace of insanity he'd shown earlier was nowhere to be found.
Is he really going to be okay?
Yes. We analyzed the vial and confirmed that it was definitely Excelivir. Now that I've administered it,
The Excelivir should eradicate the virus completely given enough time, right?
yes, that should be the case.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, what a relief.
Things are looking pretty sketchy there for a while, that's for sure.
I felt some of the tension disappear from my shoulders, and I let out a breath I hadn't realized I had been holding. Stop yawning. No, put the mic back to your mouth. We weren't out of the woods yet, but at least Cork was safe. No, don't. Tenmyoji let out a long, shaky sigh and lowered himself onto one of the empty beds. He rubbed his hands wearily across his face, and I thought I saw the glint of tears.
Alice, you and Kay, I don't know what to say other than thanks. You saved his life. I don't know the words to tell you how much that means to me.
Oh, please. It was nothing, really. We just happened to be the ones who went through the red door.
Where is Kay? He's not in here.
He's still in the warehouse. Dio and Kay stayed behind.
You just saw him.
They went there to wait for you
Yeah,
guys
you're
while
like,
we
where's
came back
Kay?
here.
Dumb.
Figured someone should explain what was going on so you wouldn't come back to an empty warehouse.
So Dio and Kay were the ones that opened the AB gates?
Not both of them. There was only one door open.
Well, we should get back and tell them how Clark's doing. Kay will want to know at least.
Yeah, you're right.
I nodded and headed back toward the other side of the room. I was nearly there when Tenmyoji suddenly spoke.
That's right. You know that memory card we found?
Huh? This thing?
Yeah. I think I know how we can take a look at what's on it. What? You don't remember? There was a memory card just like it that we used to solve the puzzles in here.
Yeah, he's right. There's a slot next to the screen. Should work for this one, too.
Oh yeah, there it is. Right, yeah. Well, let's give it a shot.
I want to see what's on it.
Okay, just give me a minute here.
I slid the card into the slot next to the screen. No sooner had I done so than an image of a waveform popped
Is there an
up on the
audio
screen.
file on here? Why don't we turn up the volume a bit?
Luna tapped a few things on the screen, and a bar began to move across the screen. Before long, a voice drifted out of the speakers.
This is Control. How's it going over there? Bet you missed the sound of my voice, huh? Well, I seen a moon this full. And that color. Tonight's that eclipse, remember? What a way to end 2028, huh? The moon's this amazing red. If it wasn't so beautiful, it'd be kind of ominous. Wish you guys could see it too, but... sorry, forgot. You're supposed to be on Mars, aren't you? So, how are Phobos and Deimos looking right now? Sure, hope I'll get to look up at them someday, too. Anyway, over. Hey, something wrong? Talk to me, guys. What? You gonna play hard to get because we haven't talked in so long? Enough jokes, all right? Knock it off. Where are you guys? Is there something wrong with the radio? You're saying everything's green? Well then, what the hell's going on here? Why aren't they responding? No, the video feed's online. Look, you can see all 9 of them, 3 at each table. What? Someone hacked our feed? What do you mean this isn't live? An old clip on repeat? Who would do that? What in the hell is happening here? This is Control. I repeat,
Are we on Mars?
This is Control. Please come in. I'm asking you to respond.
This is...
Oh, thank God.
Wait, that kind of sounds like Phi.
What happened?
6 of us are... dead.
Never mind.
What?
Counting myself, there are only 3 left.
How? Why are...
They were killed.
What?
I guess you could say I killed them. No, that's not quite right. Not just them. Not just these 6. All of them. All 6 billion. Soon, I will have killed 6 billion people.
Are you there?
It's pretty cool.
Respond.
Good job, lady.
What? Radical 6?
It's all
We
XP.
have an emergency situation. We have an unconfirmed report of 6 deceased test subjects. Deploy rescue and escort teams to the test site immediately. Shit. What the hell happened in there?
Yes.
Is that
What on
it?
earth was that?
Any ideas?
I got only frowns and shaken heads in response. Only one person showed a reaction other than stunned confusion. Tenmyoji. Long after the audio ended, he stared at the screen, deep in thought.
Do you know something, Tenmyoji?
Yeah, I think I know what that was. It's probably a transmission from the Mars mission test site.
Mars?
I'm sorry, what?
You mean some kind of space travel?
What kind of test site was it?
Did you know that the government is developing spaceships with particle annihilation engines? These ships would be able to get humans to Mars a lot faster than old chemical rockets. But they don't want to just send a manned Mars mission off half-cocked. That was the idea behind this test. They built a whole complex in this old Air Force base in Nevada. The idea was that it would be a simulation of a manned mission to Mars with a crew of 9 men and women. They'd monitor the whole thing and use that data to plan the real mission.
So what we just listened to was a transmission from that project?
Yeah,
Why is something like that here?
don't know why. We found it in the safe. No explanation.
We're in the Nevada
Honest to donuts,
test
it's
site.
got something to do with Zero's plan.
You mean we were meant to hear what was on that card?
Yeah.
It's all very interesting, but how exactly do you know about all this?
Oh, about the simulated Mars mission?
Yes.
I was involved with the project.
Involved.
Intent was to create as accurate a simulation as possible. That meant we'd need to simulate the radio silence we'd experienced during conjunction.
What's a conjunction?
It means 2 things in space are close to each other. In this case, we're talking about a superior conjunction, where Mars and Earth are on the exact opposite sides of the Sun. So unless we've got some sort of relay, there'll be a period of time where we won't be able to communicate with each other. What we heard on that card was when the simulated conjunction was scheduled to end.
That's when they died.
Now, we don't know that. They could have died long before that conversation. All we know is that's when it was discovered.
So 6 of the test subjects died, right?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember what she said? There was something about how she didn't just kill 6 people. She said 6 billion. What the heck does she mean by that?
Just what the hell happened there?
Radical 6. Tenmyoji frowned and looked down at the floor. We were all silent as he paced slowly back and forth across the room. At last he stopped, raised his head, and spoke.
The truth is that there's a chance a virus escaped from the test site.
A virus? Wait, you don't mean...
Yeah. Radical 6.
What? How can that be?
I'm just telling you what I know, okay? Nobody's sure how Radical 6 got in there in the first place, but one of the subjects might have been infected when they entered. Or the virus itself might have been an intentional part of the simulation. The test site deaths became the index case for a pandemic. Anyway, prevailing wisdom says it got out somehow. And once it was out, it spread pretty quick. All across the planet.
And it killed 6 billion people?
No, not directly. Best numbers put only 1/3 or so of those deaths as directly caused by Radical 6. The other 4 billion died from the collapse caused by the deaths of that first third. The whole world just fell apart.
Wow, damn. I have a lot of questions. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start knowing where to start. Well, no, I take that back. Explain that date. Unless I heard this wrong, the day Radical 6 got out was December 31st, 2028.
Yeah.
It's 10 years from now. But the day I got grabbed by the guy in the gas mask was December 25th, 2028.
Me too.
Oh, it wasn't 10 years.
Christmas Day.
That's 10 years from
I
today.
was kidnapped on Christmas, too.
What?
Like IRL.
Clover and I were taken 3 days earlier, on the 22nd.
Yeah.
I know, I thought that it had been, like, the year in this game was, like, earlier.
Then you see what I'm saying, right? The recording was made close to a week after we were all picked up. What the hell is going on here? That thing is from the future.
Ten minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes. All players, please enter your votes. If no vote is recorded before the deadline has passed, any non-voting parties will automatically ally.
Well, how do you know how? Why would you say that thing's from the future? Why would you just say like, oh, it's been like a couple weeks since we got picked up, and like we were asleep for a long time? We don't know.
I need more than 10
Unless that means from the future. It just means like the date you think it is wrong.
Confused. Now get moving. That's enough. Shut your damn hole, or I'm picking betray.
Hey, come on now.
Wait, you haven't answered.
Fine. Do what you want, but I need to get back to the AB rooms. I'd like to stay with Quark. He seems to be doing all right.
I'll stay here with him.
Fine.
I can do the voting for our pair. I can trust her. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, sure.
Well, if you'd be willing to do that, I'd be much obliged. Thanks, Luna. Take good care of her.
Of course. I'll make sure everything goes fine.
To Teenager gave her one final last nod and turned and dashed out of the infirmary. Well, that's that, I guess. We should probably be going too.
We'll just have to wait to hear the rest of what he has to say later.
I'd rather just get it all out in the open now, but there's not much we can do.
Let's get going then.
We returned only to find Kay, explained what happened with Quark, and then glanced around the room. Where's Dio?
He has gone into his AB room.
Already?
Indeed.
Then he opened the first AB gate, right?
Of course.
This is bad. I won't be able to talk with him. This is going to limit my choices.
You've only got one BP left, don't you?
Yeah. Luna's the same.
If Vi chooses ally and Dio picks betray.
Hey Alice, don't you have one BB2?
Vi and Luna will be penalized.
I don't have a choice. I'll have to pick betray. The risk with allies.
But what
is
if
just too
Alice and
high.
Kay chose betray?
That's right. But Kay and I will be playing against Quark.
And he'll just default to ally. I guess you don't need to worry about getting penalized.
How much
then, huh?
BP does Quark have?
I don't know.
You needn't worry. That will not happen.
So you vote ally?
Even though, as you have told me, Quark is recovering, he is still weak. Moreover,
Kay and
he is
Alice
only a
needed
child.
nodded to one another
To betray it.
and disappeared into the
even if
AB
you-
room
Yes.
second from
Of
the
course.
right.
Well then,
Yes.
Without saying anything, Vi turned and walked into the room just left of theirs. That left only myself, Clover, and Tenmyoji.
Do you remember what you said to me when you chose the blue door? Something about how you'd convince me to choose ally? Seems like now would be the time to let me know how you're going to convince me.
Well, it's not that complicated. I promise you that Clover and I will vote ally. That's it, pretty much.
Wait,
I see.
what?
And you figure
Clover-
I'll
But we
believe
only have
because you
one.
only got one BP.
Yeah, like we would die
Once
if you chose
you've told me
betray.
you plan to ally, I won't be able to choose betray.
Yeah.
Since
Maybe he doesn't
if
wanna
you tell
kill
me
us.
the truth- Not a bad plan, but it assumes that I've taken killing you off the table. Seems like a risky bet for you.
You'll kill me.
And why is that? Not a bad plan, but it assumes that I've taken killing you off the table. Seems like a risky bet for you.
I disagree. Clover's BP is 6. If you ally and we betray, she have enough points to escape, right? She could run off to the number 9 door as soon as this round's over. It's easier for you to say, but think about it from my perspective. Sure, you might not. You might not, but you might also might. If I guess wrong, that's a pretty big loss for me.
Well, what if Clover tries to seduce you to
What?
get what she wants? That's just an example. What I'm trying to say is that once you two are in that room, Clover might try and make some sort of bargain with you. I'm asking what you're going to do if that happens. Are you sure? you'll
Seduce
still
me, huh?
choose ally?
Hey! What are you staring at, you perv? There's no way on... Hey! What are you staring at, you perv? There's no way on earth I'd do anything like that! Ugh,
Well, that's that then. Not gonna lie though, I'm a little disappointed.
So I can trust you.
Yeah.
You're gonna choose ally.
You can trust us.
Of course.
Promise.
We promise.
Wow, he's gonna betray
Alright,
us.
guess I'll
Let's choose betray.
3 minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Well, looks like we don't have much time left.
I'm trusting you too.
Trusting you.
Tenmyoji gave us a curt nod and then turned and strode into the second AB room from the left. Right, well,
Let's get stick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we betray Clover's just gonna leave, it's gonna be game over. No matter what, I think both endings end pretty quick though.
Really?
What's up?
Hey, Sigma.
What?
Would you pick Betray for me? I mean, I could try
What?
and tackle you, but you're so big
Yeah,
and
well,
strong. You'd probably just throw me on the ground and that'd be it. So I thought I
What?
might as well just ask you really nicely.
No,
I mean,
mm,
had to.
this is cringy.
Anything?
If you just pick Betray for me, then I'll listen to anything you say. Anything. So think carefully. Okay?
Yeah, if he chooses Betray, it's all
You
over.
choose Ally. You're trusting him with your life.
Old fart.
Hey, now that's not very nice.
Uh-huh. Are you really sure?
But if he
you
chooses
can
Ally,
trust
we
that old
don't.
fart? The only safe choice is to pick Betray. Then I'll have 9 BP. But you don't need to worry about that. Even if I do get 9
What?
BP,
Yes.
I won't just go and open
Anything
the number
you say.
9 door all by
No,
myself.
do Ally, because she's
I
being
mean,
cringy.
Allison had 9 points yet, and I can't leave her behind.
Listen to anything you say.
She'll listen, but she won't do.
It's true. In the end, there was only one possible answer.
Ally.
Only one possible answer.
What's that?
She'll listen to anything we say. Anything.
3, 2, 1.
She won't do anything bad.
Round 2. Result and
So dumb.
Let's see who has 9 BP.
results from round
Hey.
2 of the Please direct.
Bam. Smoke that old fool.
Damn.
Clover's getting out.
Is Clover gonna really leave us?
Probably.
Wait, but she has. Clover has Alice, though. Why would she leave Alice?
Yeah.
Points have been assigned
Damn it.
or subtracted.
Tenyoji, don't trust us.
Please check your bracelet to see.
Sorry. I just couldn't bring myself to trust you. Yeah, well, after all, we did choose to betray him the last round.
That was a possibility. That was a completely different situation. Well, in any event, your idiotic paranoia has given Clover 9 BP.
Don't
How do you
worry.
intend to deal with that?
She's never tried to open them.
Oh,
Huh?
I believe she's standing in front of the number 9 door right now.
What? What the hell? No, no way.
Why would you just leave your best friend?
Oh no, she opened it. She was supposed to wait for all of us. She was supposed to listen to everything I say.
The number 9 door.
Has Dio ever chosen Ally?
Yeah, he just betrays constantly.
Like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna choose Ally.
Clover, what the hell are you doing?
Sorry. Alice gave me an order though.
Clover, you have to get out of here and call for help. My BP's down to 1. I'll have to play the AB game at least 3 more times in order to get to 9. If someone beats me to it, then we'll be trapped here forever. That can't happen. I'm giving you an
Commanding
order
officer.
as the commanding officer. Escape.
What about the promise you made to me? You said you'd listen to anything I said.
So, itching my ears, isn't it?
Exactly.
You.
What? Were you thinking of something gross?
No.
You're a perv.
Dad.
You're perv. Hey, come on now. I just wanted you to listen to me for a long time, like a couple hours. He only gave me a few seconds to listen to you.
He was supposed to be my therapist.
It will remain open for 9 seconds.
Anyway, I did what I promised, so I'll be heading off now.
Clover!
Clover!
Fucking bitch!
Dio leapt toward Clover with a roar, but she danced quickly aside, dodging his punch with ease. What good would it do to stop her from going out anyways? The last carefree grin, she leapt through the number 9 door.
Bye, guys.
The door has already been open, and if you don't have 9 BP, then there's no way you can get it in 9 seconds.
Yeah.
So there's no point in doing anything.
Well, you just stop it from leaving and then nobody leaves.
The number 9.
Tenmyoji trusted us with his life too, because now he's dead.
This ends the nonary game.
No, I liked her saying escape is not possible.
Participation. As the game is over, all doors.
Let's all just give each other.
Let's wait for her to call for help.
No, all we can do is give each other hugs.
Yep, let's hug each other forever. What's that supposed to mean?
Tenmyoji said nothing, just shuffled off through the yellow door and out of the room. A cold silence descended on the rest of us. It was a silence that promised to remain for a very, very long time. No one died this time. Oh,
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
no one
Well,
was
except the
murdered.
old lady.
Yeah, and that was Dio, and that's gonna happen anyways, you know?
Yeah.
That was a great ending.
Awesome.
Okay, this time let's choose.
Maybe this time she'll listen to what we have to say.
Yeah, she's
If we
betray again.
Let's betray again. We'll see if she's nicer this time. I'm so nice. Why don't you listen to me? Super dumb.
She's like, I would never seduce you, and then she just does it right on.
Of the
That's dumb.
Abex game will now be pleased.
Did he choose betray this time?
No, I don't think he changes his vote based on
I
what we
know, I'm not gonna.
did.
Ay.
Hooray.
Have please check
Now
your
we're all just gonna
wrist
die
to
here.
see your updated bracelet.
No one can escape.
Looks like you managed to trust.
I like he wanted to kill both of them.
Yeah, that's kind of
So
suspicious.
dumb.
I could say the same thing. No need for
Looks like you
Well,
managed.
Seems like I made the right choice. You really helped me out. Thanks.
You tried to kill me and
The
Luna.
corner of his mouth twitched into a grin. I felt myself smile a little in response. Clover, on the other hand, looked less than pleased. Psst. Puts in earplugs. She sighed heavily, shot me one last annoyed look, and stalked off. Across the room, Dio and Fi were already confronting one another over their own results.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Dio's gonna be like, you betrayed me!
You know exactly what I was doing. I knew you weren't stupid enough to pick Ally. You'd defend yourself with betray, just like I would. Wait, where's Luna?
In the infirmary, looking after Quark.
Is that where Alice went too?
Alice? No, she went into one of the AB rooms with Kay.
Yes, we did indeed enter together. When the doors opened, however, she left, somewhat unsteadily, in the direction of the cyan door.
She left the warehouse?
Indeed.
Without even checking the results?
Correct. There was little reason to check them.
Yeah, it's not like Quark was going to betray you.
Indeed.
You two still choose ally. Man, what a pair of bleeding hearts.
If you say so. Being mocked for my compassion is a small price to pay for retaining my humanity.
Where did Alice run off to?
Kay looks so pissed off right now.
In the AB room, she mentioned being quite tired. Perhaps she went to one of the cabins to rest.
Oh, well, I guess that would make sense.
She's probably got Radical 6. An ominous rumble filled the warehouse.
Have closed. Round start. There is the.
That means if I understood that enough.
Hey.
The three K's.
Ah, yes.
I'm gonna die
They are
soon.
very interesting.
Yeah, they're white. I had a good look while...
Yeah, you're talking.
We can open the gates as many times as we want. Yeah, you did. Can you guys show me your bracelets? Let's see what colors are this time. Huh? Looks like the colors are weird. Clover's a cyan pair, Phi's a magenta pair, and Timio's a yellow pair. Then how are we supposed to group up for the chromatic doors?
Huh? Wait, you mean there's
I
only
think they're
one
gonna be
option?
white this time.
Yeah. There's no other way we can group up. Alice, Luna, and Quark aren't here to show us their bracelets, so we don't know for sure what their colors are.
You should have seen them too, Phi. Alright, so lay us on. How are the groupies going to shake out this time? Option A. Timioji, yellow, and me, blue, would form one group. Phi and Dio would form another group. Clover and Kay would form a third.
Yeah. There's no other way we can group up to make white. But it's pretty clear they'll all be pairs, since none of the pairs here have a partner. But it's pretty clear they'll all be pairs, since none of the pairs here have a partner.
So we're a group of Timioji with someone else that we don't know yet. Two minutes.
All right, what now? We've got plenty of time until those white doors open.
Yeah, about an hour looks like.
I'm gonna go find Alice.
Of course. I'll come with you then.
Clover gave her a shrug, and the two of them headed out through the cyan door.
Do I really need to say it?
The infirmary, right? Gonna go check on Quark.
Yeah.
So something bad's gonna happen before we get to the next puzzle. See?
What do you mean?
The puzzles happened here. The puzzles happened on the Esk, and then there's a big plot after. So this is a death. So we're gonna all die somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe we get murdered.
I think I'm gonna head over to the
Well,
lounge and
Alice
have a drink.
was feeling tired, so she
You
might
wanna
have
tackle along, Kay?
infected everyone.
Are you making
Remember, I think
fun of
she
me?
just hang out with
I
Quark a
find it
lot.
rather hard to drink.
What are you guys
this
gonna
master.
do?
Ah, right. Of course. My bad. I think I'm gonna head over to the lounge. Well, I'm out. Later. You wanna tackle along, Kay?
Are you making fun of me? I find it rather hard to drink.
Ah, right. Of course. Well, I'm out. Later.
Dio didn't even ask if we wanted to
What is
go.
this?
Oh my
You
god.
following me?
With a lazy wave of his
No,
hand,
you
Dio
must be
slouched
mistaken.
off towards the magenta
I
door.
hope to investigate floor B further.
It
There are
took me a
still
moment to
several rooms I
realize
haven't
Kay was
visited.
following him.
Okay, okay. You don't have to tell me your
Dun
life
dun
story.
dun.
See ya.
Alexa, stop.
I hope to investigate floor B further. There are still several rooms I haven't visited.
Tell me your life story. See ya.
Their conversation ended as they reached the door and stepped through it.
Tonight's that eclipse, remember? What a way to end
What?
2028, huh?
What is that? Food?
Dinner, yeah.
It's kitchen over there. Alright. What should I do?
Tonight's that eclipse, remember? What a way to end 2028, huh?
Of course. I need to get the rest of that story out of Temioji. The words scarcely out of my mouth before I set off at a dead run down the hallway towards the infirmary. Huh? There's nobody here. The room was completely empty. I edged forward and peeked around the partition. There he was, Temioji. He was standing next to Quark, apparently oblivious to my presence, looking down at something in his hand. A picture? I must have made some small noise because he suddenly looked up and saw me and hastily shoved the photo back in his pocket. What was that? It was a photo of something, right?
Forget it. It's got
Well,
nothing
what
to do with
was it? Yours? But all the stuff we had with us got grabbed, was taken away.
Why should
Why
I
are
tell
you
all
hiding
of
it?
you about one measly photo?
Anyway, where's
I asked
Luna?
her to leave. I wanted to be alone with Quark for a bit. So, why are you here? The rest
I wanted to
of
hear
what?
the rest.
What the hell are you talking about?
Talking about that simulated manned mission to Mars. I heard the
I don't
recording
have
about
any
it.
idea what you're talking about. I'm getting old. Memory's not what it used to be. I seem to be forgetting a lot of stuff lately.
Hey, nice try, pal, but you're not getting away with it this time. You remember something, all right. You remember so much. You told me it'd take way more than 10 minutes to tell it all.
You really sure you want to know? Maybe I'll tell you, and then you'll regret it.
Huh?
Maybe you'll wish you'd kept your fool mouth shut. Just think about all the hopes you've got for the future, and all the happy memories of your past. What if what I have to tell you makes everything you've ever believed ring hollow, and the whole world just crumbles around you? You sure you want that?
Hey, come on. You don't need to threaten
This
me.
isn't a threat. I'm being honest here. Are you really, truly prepared?
Well, of course. I never got the chance to say I am. Before I could, Fi exploded into the room, her face a mixture of anxiety and fear.
Good. There you are.
Good. There you are.
Alice.
Something happened?
Alice's.
Alice's.
Look, just come
She's
with me, all
exploded.
right?
Look,
She's in the number
No,
2
she
cabin.
died.
she's in the number 2 cabin.
Without waiting for a response, Fi spun around and ran back out of the room. Tamiyoji and I exchanged a quick, confused look, then leapt up, and took off after her. Murdered.
She's suicidal.
Yeah, maybe that's true. Alice. The first thing I saw when I stepped through the door was the blossom of red on her chest. Yeah, I think you're right, Robert. She suicided, and that might be what happened to other people in this game, too. They get infected and they suicide. I stopped short, my body refusing to move. No, why did this happen? I forced one shaking foot forward, then the next. My legs began to buckle, and I put a hand against the wall to save myself, as my heart thundered in my chest. This looks pretty bad, but you don't actually know anything yet. Yeah, that's right. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe we can still save her. Then at least I pressed my finger at her neck and those hopes were dashed. No pulse. Clearly she wasn't breathing either. Her pupils had dilated hideously, making her face seem somehow inhuman. No, it's not true. Why? Then I noticed that all the blood must have distracted me. Now I saw that her scalpel was buried in her chest. Judging by the position of its handle, she had been stabbed through the heart. I felt a sympathetic twinge of pain in my own chest. My stomach lurched. Bile and hopelessness rose up in my throat. I stood, hands balled tightly into white-knuckle fists, and took a deep breath. All around the room, the rest of the Nonary Games participants, except, of course, Quark. I wanted to ask which of them had killed her. Even if it had been one of them, though, there was no way they'd answer. All I could do was stare at each one of them in turn and ask myself, is this the person? Is this person a murderer? The looks they traded with one another suggested that I wasn't the only person wondering if they were standing next to a killer. An unsettling silence filled the room. Clover was the first to speak.
Who did this? Who did this? Say something. Answer me. Please, Clover, calm down. We don't even know if she was killed. Then what happened? An accident? You think a scalpel just dropped from the ceiling and stabbed her?
Cool it, kid.
You did it, didn't you?
Are you nuts?
Then who did it? Who killed her?
Clover, even if we assume that she was murdered, It doesn't necessarily mean the killer was one of us, does it?
Wait a minute. You went into the AB room with Alice during the last round, didn't you? Something happened in there, didn't it?
No, nothing happened.
Don't lie to me! There's no way Alice would just run off like that! She wouldn't leave me! Something happened! If she was going to leave, she'd tell me! She...
Hey, Clover. Don't you think just assuming Alice was murdered is jumping the gun a little bit?
How can you look at her and say that? Scalpels don't just stab people all by themselves! Ah, I see. I get it now. You're all in on it, aren't you? It wasn't just one killer. It was 6! No wonder you're so anxious to say this wasn't a murder.
Clover, please, just settle down.
Fine. Show me some proof then. Prove to me in 10 seconds that you didn't murder my friend, or I'm going to kill every last one of you bastards! You're all going to die just like she did! 9,
Hey, hold on a minute.
8, 7, Clover, 6, 5,
Is she gonna kill us all?
Clover,
Maybe.
2,
That's how we all die. Those infected by Radical 6 eventually develop a powerful urge to commit suicide. Suddenly, Clover moved. I leapt forward and clamped my head around her waist.
what are you
My
doing?
hand.
My hand.
What are you doing?
Clover, listen to me. Alice wasn't killed. Nobody murdered her. She took her own life.
What? No. What? No. There's no way she'd do that. There's no way she'd do that.
It's true, she stabbed herself in the heart with a scalpel.
All right. Where'd she get the scalpel then?
I did hear
Cork.
someone come into the infirmary right after the AB game ended.
Was that before I showed up?
Yes. I got up to see who it was, but they were already gone. It could have been Alice.
So she
Yes, I think so.
could have taken the scalpel then.
You're lying. This is all a lie. It has to be. Then why did she do it? Why would Alice kill herself?
She probably didn't have any reason.
What?
She'd probably been infected with Radical 6.
But you just
That's
said
what
she
killed her.
killed herself. Just tell me the truth. Then prove it. Your 10
am.
seconds ran out a long time ago. So if you don't have any proof,
I do. I have proof. There was a journal in the lab, wasn't there, Kay?
Journal?
Show it to me. It would have been in the safe.
Well, Alice would have it then.
Fi, can you? I don't feel like touching a dead woman's body right now.
Sure.
Could you take a look? Her hands barely shook as she quickly searched through Alice's clothing. It was only seconds before she stopped. Slowly and carefully, she drew something out. There it was. The journal. Fi turned and handed it to me, but I shook my head. You read it. It's in Latin. I can't make heads or tails out from it. cocked an eyebrow at me and flipped the small book open. When she looked back up at me, it was both suspicion and surprise.
Yeah, it is Latin. But translating this is impossible. It's full of words I've never heard before. I can barely understand any of this. Huh?
Page 216.
How do we know
Page
all
216.
this?
You should be able to read that one. Maybe you remember from the other one.
How?
Fi's frown deepened, but she did as I suggested. I think you remember the timelines.
Really?
I watched her eyes quickly scan through the page before looking up at me with renewed suspicion.
Yeah, I can read this page. How did you know? No, wait.
Because we're a time traveler
There was a
too.
journal in the lab.
We never been in there.
You just knew.
I just knew.
Come on.
Look, just read, okay? Clover wants to hear what it has to say.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Give me a moment to look it over.
After a few moments of whispering to herself in Latin, Fi began to translate, paraphrasing the contents of the journal. Radical 6 reduces the processing speed of the brain by a factor of the...
Just skip this part.
Yeah. We already remember this.
Oh Lord, please let their future.
Fi shut the journal. A sticky silence drifted through.
Sickly.
Sticky
silence.
With newspaper article, the recording, the conversation with Timioji, and now this journal entry.
Oh Lord, let their...
There was no more hiding from the truth. The pandemic had already happened. All of Clover's rage suddenly dissipated, and she collapsed to the floor, tears pouring down her face. None of us had the heart to say anything, and for several long moments, the only sound in the room was Clover's sobs.
We've got a problem. It's almost time for the primary doors to open.
Yeah, only 10 minutes left.
Sorry, but I'll be taking Alice's bracelet. Vi and I won't be able to open the secondary door without it.
So she was a magenta pair, just like me.
Just now noticed that, did ya?
As she spoke, Dio grabbed the bracelet off the floor and dropped it in his own pocket.
What color is your bracelet, Luna?
I'm a cyan pair.
You are part of Clover's pair, then. That means the two of you will need to come with me.
I guess so. Come on now, Clover. We need to go.
Is this the one where we all escape?
Alice would want you to survive, wouldn't she? You'll never be able
I know
to
that it
figure out why
ends,
all
but
this
like...
happened if you
Should
stay
end pretty
here.
soon.
Please.
I know, but like...
You're right.
What happens? Like, what
I don't
ends
know, we're
this
not gonna get to the
book?
next puzzle. I'll tell you that.
I'll figure out who Zero really is. I mean, if you'd never been locked up in here, you never would have... This never would have happened. So it's like Zero killed you. I promise. I'll avenge you.
Alice always dies. Clover stood up and rubbed her hands roughly over her eyes, smearing tears across her cheeks. Then with a determined frown, she strode out of
All
the
right,
room.
we're out of time.
A determined frown.
Move, people.
You guys head on down to the Floor B warehouse. We'll catch up with you later.
Okay, right. Quark's got the yellow bracelet, which makes him your partner, right? Without him, we'd end up stuck in the AB room. Okay, let's go. We'll see the rest of you once we picked up Quark.
I bet Quark is gone. He probably is. And then we can't leave, so we just die.
Quark, you're awake.
Yeah, I just woke up. Hey!
Yeah, he's alive.
Where is everybody else?
Hey.
Oh God. Quark.
Hey! Where is everybody else?
Oh God. Quark.
Tenmyoji's entire body shook with emotion as he drew closer to him. He cautiously laid a trembling hand on the boy's shoulders, almost as if he was afraid Quark would disappear in a puff of smoke the moment he was touched. When Quark proved to indeed be
corporeal,
Tenmyoji let out a cry and threw
What's wrong? Are you okay,
his arms
Grandpa?
around him.
It's nothing.
What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
Are you okay, Grandpa?
I'm fine.
But
Nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
Quark gave him a puzzled look. Tenmyoji didn't even notice. His face was a mixture of happiness and relief, and I could see tears twinkling from the wrinkled corners of his eyes.
We gotta go, losers. Let's go. You're locked out of that stupid door.
All traces of his usual gruff stoicism had vanished. I didn't want to interrupt such a happy reunion, but we were running out of time. Still, Tenmyoji deserved a few minutes. I left them alone. At last, Tenmyoji seemed to recover and shifted from an embrace to a protective arm around the shoulder.
So, how are you feeling?
Feeling? Well, okay, I guess. Was I sick or something?
No. You're not sick. If you feel fine, then you're fine. No.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I should never have gotten you involved in all this.
What are you apologizing for?
I'm sorry.
You're doing it again. Are you sure you're okay? So, where's everybody else? Mr. Sigma's here, but he's just been standing there looking kind of silly.
I gave him a nervous smile and explained about the white doors. I got the feeling Tenmyoji didn't want Quark to know about the Radical Six, so I avoided any mention of it. Alice's death was something I also left for later.
That means I'm on a team with you guys, right?
Right.
So, these white doors, when are they gonna open?
Well, we got about 4 minutes until the primary doors open.
We need to hurry. Come on! How do we get to the Floor B warehouse?
Okay, we're going.
Follow me. Maybe we all get infected and all die.
Or maybe it's just a to be continued thing because they didn't want to keep on making this part.
I suspect when And Clover freaked out. Gave us 10 seconds to tell her what's going on.
Yeah.
That was to be continued. And we passed that point because we knew about the stupid journal. And that's why Fi was like, how did you know about the journal? I don't think it's going to unlock another puzzle though, so I think something's going to happen.
Well, what's going on then?
I don't know. It just seems like the flows.
Remain until chromatic
Maybe it's just gonna just go to the next game.
You're late. Where the hell have you been? Quark?
You're awake.
And fully recovered, apparently.
I am also relieved to see you well again.
How does he not know he was sick?
I looked at this from behind Quark and held a warning finger up to my lips. There were a few momentary raised eyebrows, and then some nervous coughing, and everyone suddenly fell silent.
Huh?
From Quark's perspective, it must have seemed especially odd.
Anyway, there isn't any time left. We need to hurry.
Which team goes which door?
Doors.
All of the doors are identical for this round. I believe it doesn't matter which team uses which door.
Then we're taking the one in the middle.
Why that one?
You want a kill shot, you aim for the center. You're more likely to just miss the extremities.
That logic is flawed and more than slightly disturbing.
She's so annoying.
Unfortunately, I don't really have a
No,
counter-argument.
she's too
so
nice.
center door it is.
I suppose we could go with the one on the left. Is that okay? I mean, we could go with the other one if you want.
Well, there's only one left.
The door on the right.
Any objections? All right, let's move.
30 seconds remain until chromatic doors.
Good. What's gonna happen? Why doesn't it continue?
This thing's gonna close.
Oh my god, I'm so confused.
I know.
It's time we were going as well.
Right. Sure.
Director's office. I don't think we've been here.
Oh, it's because we.
Behind you.
No, we did go here. It's just we didn't know the password to the
Seen the
thing.
balloon.
1, 0. Chromatic doors closing.
So this might be Zero Senior's office. Oh, which is it?
We should look around. If this really is Zero Senior's room, there might be some clues.
Yeah, you got a point. Let's get started then.
Seek a way out.
Huh. Where the hell are we in the flow? Is there like a hidden spot?
Maybe. Oh my god, we unlocked some more.
Oh yeah, wow, look
Probably
at
the
that.
office of whoever it is that's running this place.
Know something? It said director's office.
Crazy.
On the door.
And unlock more stuff.
I think
It's
the
even
other
longer than
one.
the other one.
I think the other one to the
Or maybe
that one
not.
that continued to the left, the very far
The
left.
hell would I know?
This
Maybe
one?
that one we unlocked
should
some
look around.
secret thing, right?
If this really is Zero
Well, that's a good starting
Senior's
point
room,
anyways.
there might
Bye.
be some clues.